Okay, so I've made 4 of these Wmpyr. I don't even know what to call these. These are interesting looking things, whatever they are, man. Like a Karambit. Is a Karambit? I don't know. Whatever he wants it to be. This is exactly what he drew. And he was talking about putting a razor blade on the end of these, using a couple of screws to attach them on the outside. And I just wanted to show him this idea that I had. If you cut a slot, I'm hoping that this all works visually so you guys can see, but there's a slot here, okay, which I've cut with my fine multi-master. And I put tape on this blade because the slot's just a little big, you know, it's a little big. But if you were to press a razor blade down into this slot, you get an instant edge. Now, that's going to be ugly looking. It's going to be like a cut into the plastic. It's going to make a dull area on the plastic. I can tell you that looks ugly the way I did it, but it could be done neater. And you don't have to use blue tape, obviously. You could use clear tape. But I think you should use a little bit of tape, and you could just wedge the razor blade in there, and I can show you that that's not going to come out. So if this was on the edge of that striking tool to make it into an edged weapon, this is not going to fly out. There's no way this would stay in there just fine until you were ready to pull it out, and then all you got to do is push it against the edge of something, and it's gone. So now you're back to having a non-edged weapon, if that were something that you wanted to do. So you could have an edged weapon, and then you could have a non-edged weapon. Either way. So, yeah, that's the idea. Now, the way I do that is I use this tool, Tapmatic cutting wax, so it doesn't stick to the plastic, and I just cut into it. As you can see, this is about the thickness of a razor blade. So it's the way I would mount the blade in there. It's just that way there's no hardware. You don't have to worry about finding a screwdriver and some screws and fiddling around and trying to put a razor blade on. You just jam the thing in there by pressing it against something like a piece of wood. But yeah, I made 4 of these because I'm going to send 2 of these off to you, my friend. Thank you very much. As far as I can tell, this is what you wanted. Right? The Wmpyr wings. And very cool. Now I know you probably would like them to be thinner, and probably metal, no doubt, right? But this is the material I have that's strong enough. I don't think the 1/4 inch would really be suitable in this particular material. 3/8 is good, but I would go with nothing thinner than that, really. If you wanted to be strong, you know, I mean like super, super, super strong. Like you could slam this against anything as hard as you want. It's not going to break. But the 1/4 inch might fracture, you know. Just having worked with this stuff long enough, I know this is really super strong. So it's got its little thingies here, and they're not razory, pointy, sharp or anything, but I think they will help trap a blade. Anyway, a couple of those will be going off to you. And same idea here, you know, I mean you've got your impact tool here, and like I said, I could just cut a slot in there, and you could push a blade right in there. Just like this, could cut a slot right in there, push a blade in there. I'll get on to making these as soon as I can. It's amazing how fast the time goes. It's already 7. I haven't eaten, so I'm starting to feel it. But I did want to make some progress because it seemed like it has been forever since you sent me these drawings, and we talked about doing these. And I like the idea. Yeah, I think it's a neat thing. I guess I should peel the paper off one of these so you can see it. What the heck, I got 4 of them. So let's see what it looks like totally clear. What the heck, huh? And as you can imagine, you could put a razor blade right in here. But it would look ugly, you know. It wouldn't be nice and clear and beautiful anymore. It would have a big cut. You would see that cut right there, and it would look ugly. But it would be there. Now, the idea of drilling and tapping tiny little screws for razor blade, that's fine. I don't know. I'd have to source those probably from McMaster. I do not have that tiny of a little threaded screw here. So that's that. And I guess this way too. Not sure how that feels to me. Sorry, didn't mean to be out of frame. Yeah. This is all still, you know, perfectly hard. Now I could radius all of this. I could put a round over on this whole handle. And I think that would make it feel a lot nicer. But it would also make this a lot skinnier. That is strong. So I'm not sure. Not sure. I'm thinking maybe some just gentle sanding on the edges or something, just to round them just a little bit so they aren't terribly sharp. But I don't know about the other part. I'm gonna get a little scummy bummy on this one. But anyway, something to do. I appreciate all the help my brother Wmpyr's been giving me, promoting the stuff I've made and testing it, and all that good stuff. I like that part. I like how it flips. These little holes are very handy for flipping. That's very nice. Yeah, that's awesome. I'm not real. Yeah, the little finger hole works good. For some reason, I just feel like this should have a different profile. Like you should be able to get your hand around it better. This part kind of is hard on your hand a little bit. But I'm starting to get into it. You know, I mean, I've obviously never used anything like this, but I could see how this would be great for when you're grappling and you want to put a pressure point on somebody. You want to control them. You can use it to trap a blade, like with two of them. I don't know how you would manipulate two of them one-handed. That would be tricky. Obviously, you could have one at each hand. You could throw them on the ground like that. So let's just play with this one until I drop it. Yeah, so I can see how that's kind of fun. Yes, I see why that finger hole is fun. Yeah, and that's very nice and smooth, by the way. It's perfectly beautifully made finger hole. Wow, I almost cut my wrist. As I whipped this thing around, it wanted to go. So be careful training with these, especially if you had a razor blade on. Oh my gosh! So that's kind of fun. And then you can turn it around, and I don't know why you would want to flip it that way. I don't think that would be good for you. But yeah, I can see how that, and then it gives you get your nice thumb point there, where you can get your thumb up in it. Very nice, very easy to manipulate. It's a nice shape, interesting size, nice angle. Nothing I would have ever designed, so that's what's fun about it. That's why I like collaborating with the guy. He's got interesting ideas that I wouldn't have, so let's try them out. Let's see how they work. So that's what I came up with, my friend. A couple of them will be coming your way with the monster knife and all the other little doodads that you drew up. I'm just going to make a few of each, and you know, that way I'll have something to play with, you'll have something to play with. And if somebody suddenly said, hey man, I gotta have one of those, I would have one. Alright, thanks a lot for watching, guys. Once again, another long video. What can I do? I just tend to ramble on.